Okay, so what is culture? What are its characteristics? Please don't take much time. We don't have all the day. We have only 1 hour. Do you know? Are you, say, following me? I'm asking you, students. Does anyone from you can answer me as to what is culture? What are its characteristics? What is heritage? What is civilization? Do you know?
Civilization is development.
Yeah, go on.
Culture means behavior of a group of people, sir.
Okay. Anyone else?
The art
So
forms
culture.
we
Yeah,
practice.
please go on. Very good. So culture includes everything materialistic and non-materialistic, from the very basic things to the philosophical ideas, thought, the fine arts, the music, everything. Okay, and civilization is that part which is materialistic, or facilitating ourselves, or giving facilities to ourselves, even if it is required to change the nature, or to go, it's not going against the nature, but changing or bending the nature in such a way that it facilitates us. Okay, so that is civilization. Now, what are the characteristics, as you people rightly identified? Culture is something which is created by human beings. That is what makes us different from the other animals. Of course, we also have a place in animal kingdom, but we consider ourselves to be something different from animals. Why? Because of this culture. And this culture is purely man-made culture. That means our ancestors have tried a few things and they came to know that this is useful and this is not useful. Whatever was useful, whatever was really beneficial to them, they continued it and they shared it with the next generation. So it is purely a man-made or human-made, this one. Then culture is learned from our predecessors, our ancestors. Culture, dynamic culture, keeps on changing. We can add something if at all, if we feel that something is beneficial to the humanity or our society or our group. So we'll add it to the culture, and sometimes we may stop following few things which are not relevant to us, are not suitable to us. Like this, it is common to a group of people, and it is different from place to place or from group of people to group of people. Like this, you have learned the characteristics, right? So, heritage, what is it? Inheriting something, getting something because we are part of that society, or part of that family, or because we are part of human beings, or this human race, we get many things which we have not invented, we have not discovered. Okay, so all those things which we get, for example, I gave you to easy to understand. Cultural monuments are monuments which we have inherited, like Qutub Minar, Golconda Fort, Kashi Temple, Thousand Pillars Temple of Varangal, Osmania University, Banaras Hindu University, like this. So there are many things: our practices, our beliefs, the literature, the dance forms, all these things. It's cultural heritage, and I have also told you that at different levels we can speak of. As an Indian, you have inherited few things. As a person belonging to this state, you have inherited something. As a person belonging to some ethnic uh, group, you have inherited few things. As a son of or a child of a parents, you have inherited few things. So at various levels, you will inherit various things. Sometimes qualities, sometimes physical these assets, right? So this is what we have learned here till now. Now let us discuss as to what is Indian culture. Is there anything which can be called as Indian culture? We have learned as to what is culture. We have learned what are its characteristics. We have learned what is heritage. Cooler on, yeah. So now just tell me, is there anything which we can call or identify as Indian culture?
Yes, sir.
So do you have any idea? Can you give an example?
Like what Indians follow, all the things.
Good. Just give an example. Try to give an example.
For Indian tradition.
different religions.
In the Hinduism, Buddhism, like they are also cultures, na sir.
Like part
Languages.
of our cultures, languages. So whatever you
Clothing.
said, all of you are right, correct. So I'll tell you, you are all right, but let me give you some more information, add few points to it. We have diversity in India. As you people said, we have different religions, we have different languages, we have different religious beliefs, we have different clothing, we have different eating habits, right? But still, we may have n number of differences. Okay, we have diversity that is visible, and we have to accept it. There is no way to escape it, but we still have unity. In one line, if I want to say, I'll simply say that unity in diversity is India's culture, and there is nothing wrong in it. So what is that diversity, or what is that unity? There are many things which are different, we all know, but let us see what are the things which are common to us. For example, Maharashtrians celebrate in Maharashtra, Marathwada, they celebrate Gude Padwa. What is Gude Padwa? It is the day from which New Year begins. When does this New Year begins for us? For Telugu speaking
Ugadi.
people? Very good, Ugadi.
Ugadi.
Very good. Then when do they celebrate, the Christians?
Easter.
On 1st January? On
Good
January
Friday.
1st?
New Year.
New Year, that's all, simple. Right? And for Tamilians it is something, and for Keralites it is something, for Punjabis it is different. So even we have different dates, and say people celebrate it with different names on different times of the year, but the inner meaning is same. For example, Parsis, they celebrate Nowruz. Nowruz is the day from which the new year starts for Parsis. Names are different, and the day on which we celebrate that what is it, religious or social belief, it is different, but the inner meaning is same. All are celebrating the starting of a new year. Baisakhi is celebrated in Punjab. Onam is celebrated in Kerala and some parts of Tamil Nadu, and we celebrate Sankranti. Why do we celebrate it? When we get good harvest, we celebrate it. Like this, there are many religious and social beliefs, cultural beliefs, practices, which may look different, divergent, but the inner meaning is same. So that is what is Indian culture. Now let us see how this Indian culture was in different periods of time. So the history is divided broadly into two parts. One is known as prehistoric period, and the other one is known as historic period. What is the difference? Prehistoric period and historic period. Prehistoric period is the period in which we don't have many proofs to reconstruct the history. Historic period is that period wherein we have different kinds of proofs depending on which we can reconstruct the history. Am I clear? Are you following me? Students, I am asking you, am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, this historic period, that means the period for which we have got different kinds of proofs, evidences. These evidences, this period can also be divided into three parts again: ancient period, medieval period, and modern period. So from the time when we are getting proofs, from that point of time till the 8th century AD, it is ancient era or ancient period. From 8th century AD till the 18th century AD, it is medieval period or medieval era. From 18th century onwards till date, it is modern era or modern period. Am I clear, students? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone repeat it for me?
Sir, you are clear.
Can you repeat it for me?
From 18th century, it is modern period,
Okay.
and from 8th century, it was periodic.
No. I'll tell you. Anyhow, you try to recollect it. It's good. That means you are listening. History is broadly divided into two parts, as I said. One is the part for which we don't have any proofs. We have proofs, but they are very meager, basing on which constructing history is almost impossible. So what we have to do is we have to add some guesswork. Do you have any Shashank Reddy in your class? Shashank Reddy. Is he our college student? Students, I am asking you, is Shashank Reddy your classmate? Is he in your class? ఏదడిగినా కామ ఉండడం తప్ప మీరు సమాధానం ఇవ్వట్లేదు.
Sir,
అయిపోయింది ఆయన రిక్వెస్ట్ అంటే he wanted to join the class, so he requested me. Then I did not want people to join with outside IDs, which I have made it clear in my first class. I want you people to join the class using official email IDs which are given by college. Okay. Where were we? What was I discussing?
history has two parts.
Yeah. It's not, it is, history is having two parts, but historians have divided the history for the sake of understanding, divided into two parts. One is the part for which we don't have any proofs. Of course, we have a few proofs. Okay. And the second part is that part for which we have many proofs, literary proofs, archaeological proofs, anthropological proofs. Right. So this part for which we have different proofs, literary proofs, inscriptions, archaeological evidences. Okay, so that part is again divided into three parts, which is ancient, medieval, and modern. Ancient era or ancient period is that period which starts from the point from where we are getting some evidences, archaeological or literary or anthropological, any kind of evidence. From that time till 8th century AD, it is ancient era or ancient period. And from 8th century AD onwards till 18th century AD, it is medieval era or medieval period. From 18th century onwards, it is modern period or modern era. Why do we have this? I'm saying, why have we taken 8th century and 18th century as demarcating points? Can anyone guess?
Industrial revolution.
Not exactly, but it can be one of the reasons. The main reason
Revolutions.
is not revolutions. The main reason is a revolutionary change, I can say. It's not revolution. Okay, what happened is in 8th century, people from outside world, that is, I'm not saying aliens, I'm saying people who used to live in other parts of the earth, that is not in India, in some other parts, they started coming to India for various reasons. People wanted to learn something, people wanted to loot something, people wanted earn something for different reasons. Somebody wanted to rule India, somebody wanted to loot India, somebody wanted to gain knowledge from India, somebody wanted to settle down in India, as we people do now in I'm saying, we try to go to European countries, England, France, Western I'm saying American countries like Canada, America, North American countries. Why? Because we feel that they're far more advanced. We can gain knowledge. Students go to those countries to gain knowledge. People who have completed their education, they go in search of opportunities, working opportunities or jobs. People who have money, they feel that living in those societies is more secure, or more status or prestigious issue. So people go there and they live. Somebody wanted to do business, somebody wants to do somebody wants to earn money, somebody wants to pursue different career. For various reasons, people go. In the same way, people used to come to India in those days. If you wanted to learn philosophy, if you wanted to learn mathematics, if you wanted to learn metallurgy, mathematics, people used to come to India for knowledge. People used to learn philosophy, medicine, languages, grammar. Some people wanted to do business with India. They wanted to buy the things which are available here, and they wanted to go back to their hometowns or the place from where they have come and sell it for a profit, for a huge margins of profit. If you wanted to come to India and get those things which are not available there, like spices or blue color, if you wanted to come to India and loot India and say they were more interested in the riches of India. Ghazni Muhammad, Ghori, East India Company, these are the examples. If you wanted to come to India and they wanted to rule India, like Babur, Britishers. So for various reasons, people have started coming to India, and this started in the 8th century. Again, a remarkable answer, a major invasion-like thing has happened in the 18th century when Europeans came to India. In the 8th century, Afghans or Arabs started coming to India. In the 18th century, Europeans started coming to India. So that is why historians have taken these two periods as demarcating points. Okay, so we'll discuss as to what is Indian culture in those time periods. In ancient era, how the culture was, and in Middle India, how the culture was, and what is the culture now. So in ancient India, again, we'll discuss about two different cultures. One is known as Indus Valley civilization and the culture of those people who lived in that civilization. The second one is Vedic culture. Why am I not calling it Vedic civilization? Because in Indus Valley civilization, you'll see the compare and contrast. Can anyone tell me how the Indus Valley civilization was? Was it a village culture? Was it a city culture?
Don't remember.
Good. So, how many of you have completed your scholastic education? దీనికి కూడా ఆన్సర్ తెలియదండి. మీలో ఎంతమంది స్కూల్ చదువుకొని కంప్లీట్ చేసుకొని వచ్చారు? How many of you have studied 10th class till 10th class? Very good. Somebody has raised his hand. Siddharth raised. Don't raise your hand. You can unmute your mics and you can simply say.
Completed, sir.
Done. అక్కడ చదువుకున్న మ్యాథ్స్ ఫిజిక్స్ కెమిస్ట్రీ గుర్తుందా?
Done, sir.
Do you remember that?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Then
sir.
why don't you remember this Indus Valley civilization? Haven't you studied it? Yeah. So Indus Valley civilization is actually a city culture. You might have studied about Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, the great cities of Indus Valley civilization. Those cities were far more advanced than any other city in India, except Chandigarh, because they were planned cities. You don't find much planned cities in India at present. Yeah, rule number 69. Do you want to say anything? 69. You have raised your hand.
No, sir.
Okay. So Indus Valley civilization is actually a city culture. How can we say that it is a city culture? Because they have built planned cities. As we have gated communities today, in the same way, the whole city was having boundaries or compound walls like things. Then inside the city was properly planned. There were roads which were flat and equal in size, and all the roads were in straight lines, no zigzag roads. Okay, grid system was followed. That means they have divided the area into different grids or square boxes like this, and there was a colony or set of houses in each grid, and main roads were there covering each grid, and these roads were cutting each other in 90 degrees. They had underground drainage system. They have used bricks which we are still using, and all the bricks were same and say similar in size, weight, dimensions. That means standardization. They know standardization. What is standardization? What is standardization? Can anyone tell me? (62) roll number. Are you online? Roll number 62.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is standardization? Example.
Size of brick.
అనే కాదండి ఒక నార్మల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఉదాహరణకి you people all have mobile phones. At least most of you have mobile phones. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Then do you use headphones or earphones?
Yeah, sir. Making that earphones pin same for all the phones. That's called
That's what I
standard.
have given you example. Simple
Yes.
example. Yeah. So standardization అంటే మీరు ఏ కంపెనీది వాడినా కూడా దాన్ని యూజ్ చేయగలుగుతున్నారు, కంపాటబిలిటీ ఉంది, రైట్? And I have many other examples. For example, CDs are prepared by some company, and you can use the CD of any company in any company's laptop or in any company's hard disk, computer, CPU, right? So they knew many things. Let us see what their culture is. That means let us discuss few points about their religious beliefs, their social ideas, their eating habits, how they used to live, all these things, because culture comprises of all these things, one by one. We have found barley, wheat, rice, and we have proofs that they knew cultivation. How? We have found barley and rice, and we have found big granaries, go down like the storages in the cities, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. That means they used to produce much more than what they require, and the excess production is stored in godowns. Is it not? Why do we have godowns? If we have something in excess, then only we store it in godowns. Otherwise, we don't need godowns. Right? So granaries were there where people used to store their excess production. And coins were found, or seals, coins like things. I'm not saying they were having money, but seals were found, which were used for different reasons. We don't know exactly that whether they were using barter system or whether they were having any kind of money through which they used to conduct their business. But seals were found, different seals. I'm not claiming that or saying that they are coins only. Seals were found. Seals can be used for different purposes. For example, if I am producing a mobile phone, then how am I going to and say tell that this is my mobile phone, because somebody else is also manufacturing mobile phone? What I will do, I'll give some logo, some symbol, so that I can easily identify that these phones are manufactured by me and those phones are manufactured by somebody else. So that seals might be used for that purpose. And seals from other civilizations like Mesopotamia, present-day Iran, Iraq, were found in Indus Valley civilization. And Indus Valley civilization seals were found in Mesopotamia, by which we can say that people were doing business with other civilizations as far as Iran, Iraq. So we have business relations. People were doing business, and they knew what should I say? This animal taming. They tamed animals. How can I say this? Because we have proofs. What kind of proof do I have? They have small toys which they have uh, created for their children or younger generation, which looks like a bullock cart. So they tamed animals and they used for transportation, bulls and other animals for agriculture purpose, stealing, cultivation, for transportation. Okay. They knew how to harvest water because huge tanks were found. They were good at engineering. How can I say that? Because they built roads, have underground drainage system. They constructed two-storied buildings. The biggest building was found with 32 rooms, 2 stories. Staircase was found. How can I say that the building was 2 storied? Staircase was found. Why do we use staircase? To go to the next higher level or next floor. Am I right? Am I right, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I said they have tamed animals. How can I say this? I have given you 2 proofs. I'll give you another proof. Rule number 95, as he or she likes dogs in the same way. Indus Valley people also like dogs because we found a brick. Before burning it, a dog stepped on it, and the footprints of dog are still there on that brick. We found it, and they have also found a toy or an idol, I can say. I don't know whether using idol is correct for a dog or not, but a toy which resembles a dog, and it was a beautiful collar is also there on that toy. That means they knew. They had what should I say, a habit of using a collar for their pets like dogs and cats. Excuse me. So they tamed animals, and we know about their food habits that they used barley, wheat, rice. We have also found rice, and they were, I would say, very good in potter making. That means we found different kinds of pottery. Blue, red colors were also used. Please mute your mic, roll number 95. If you have anything to say, then only please unmute your mic. Otherwise, keep it in mute mode. So, red and black colors were also found on the pottery. Gray was the grey colored pottery was also found. That means we knew that they were aware of using colors. We found collyrium. What is collyrium? Katuka. Muslims surma antaru, kallak pettukuntaru. Hindus katuka antaru, kallak pettukuntaru. So we have found that. We have found idols in which elaborate hairstyles and beard styles were shown. People used to shave neatly. Razors were found, which were as good as any modern day razor. That razor is still available in a museum in Pakistan. Now all that Mohenjo-daro and Harappa are the biggest sites are in Pakistan. So people were, I'm saying, because there are proofs that they used facial creams or powder-like thing and they used collyrium. They used nail cutters. Even nail cutter is found. They used to have hairstyles, different hairstyles, and differently styled beard. So we can say that people were giving utmost importance to their looks, hygiene, right? That was their culture. And coming to religious beliefs, we have found idols and coins. By seeing which or by observing which, we can say that people used to worship the reproductive capacity of the nature, that is Mother Nature. And they used to worship Pashupati. On a coin or a seal, a person sitting in between, and say a person sitting in yogic posture surrounded by different animals is shown. So by that we can say that they used to worship some kind of god whom we can compare with present day Pashupati. So we know many things about their religious beliefs, their social, agricultural, or financial, these things, engineering knowledge. Okay, that's how the culture was. That's how the people were. After this, I'm saying this civilization actually was in existence or has seen its days of power from around 3500 BCE till 1750 BCE, before Christian or Common Era. Then we don't know for what reasons this civilization collapsed, but after a gap of 400 or 500 years, another civilization started or flourished in India in the same Indus Valley and near Saraswati River. But these striking differences and there were many striking differences and there were many striking common things between these two, I would say, people of these two different periods. The second period, I would say, after a gap of 400 or 500 years, as I said, there is another culture or civilization flourished in the same part of the earth. That culture is known as Vedic culture. People were known as Aryans. But this culture is not city culture. That means technologically Indus people were very advanced. But these people who are the next generations of Indus Valley are younger to Indus Valley people, but they don't know, they don't have this kind of knowledge. They were Indus Valley people used to live in cities, but Vedic culture people used to live in villages, purely village culture. They don't know all these things. They don't even have the knowledge to construct houses. They used to live in huts. But Indus Valley people, I have told you that we found many seals. On those seals, there were few figures, and at the same time, I'm saying images and figures. Those figures, we don't know whether they are alphabets or pictures through which they used to communicate. That means we don't understand what their language was. We haven't deciphered it. We are unable to decode it. But the language of Vedic culture is very well understood. We know it. It's Sanskrit. Students, are you following me?
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether you are listening to me or not. Just let me take the attendance. Your roll number starts from, it is B section, so 61. 61.
Present,
Answer your
sir.
roll call, please.
61.
Okay.
Present.
Yeah. 62. 63.
62 present, sir.
Please wake up